Hi BookTube, Aaron here, hope you're doing okay. Today for Poetry Thursday, I've got an Apocalyptic Poetry Thursday, so I've been going through this anthology of apocalyptic poetry, and I thought I'd read you really the first poem in here that really got me sitting up and paying attention. That I'm about halfway through and there's been lots of really good stuff in here so far. And I've been introduced to loads of poets that I just hadn't heard of before. But I thought I'd just read a poem to give you an idea of um, just what these poets are like, what they're saying, what they sound like. And I think this poem, it kind of encapsulates two of the reasons why certain poets are included in this anthology. So I think one is the way the poem sounds and the preoccupations. It has that sort of deep, sort of guttural but kind of lyrical Dylan Thomas sort of thing. Not always as intense as Dylan Thomas, but it has something slightly heightened to it, I suppose, but without seeming pretentious. You know, it's kind of still quite earthy and rooted. But the other reason why they're in here is that there are certain poets who are in here because of the way they kind of convey the spirit of the age. So this anthology is concentrated on poetry from the mid 20th century, or sort of from I think the poems in here are roughly from about 1925 through to probably like 1965, or maybe up to the mid 70s, something like that. And so it's quite generous with that classification of mid 20th century. But you've got reactions to the First World War. You've got the rising tensions on the way in the lead up to the Second World War. You've got the Cold War. You've got a lot of dread and a lot of anxiety, and so sometimes there are poets in here who you wouldn't really associate with some of the others. You might think they're miles apart. So Kingsley Amis and Philip Larkin are in here, and yet I think because they're conveying the spirit of the age, that they're in here. Herbert Reed is doing both, I think. The way it sounds and that aura around the poem are there, but it's also very much about the time. Yeah, you'll see that the title of the poem is 1945. 1945. They came running over the perilous sands, children with their golden eyes, crying, "Look, we have found Samphire," holding out their bone-ridden hands. It might have been the spittle of wrens, or the silver nest of a squirrel, for I was invested with the darkness of an ancient quarrel whose omens lay scattered on the silted beach. The children came running toward me, but I saw only the waves behind them, cold, salt, and disastrous, lift their black banners and break endlessly without resurrection. So there we go, that's 1945 by Herbert Reed. Quite a bleak one. There's plenty more where that came from when it comes to bleak content. But it's not all depressing. Some of it's quite life-affirming. And some of it's just wonderfully odd and eccentric. But I'll leave it there. I might do another Apocalyptic Poetry Thursday at some point. But for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.